श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्री मायापुर धाम की, श्री राधा माधव की, श्री पंच तत्व की, श्री प्रभुपाद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिकृपहतमां वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो सर्वावस्थां गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष साभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। हरे कृष्ण। Can you operate this program? It will be displaying on the screen also.
Okay. This is fine.
Hare Krishna. Yes, please. So, my name is Leelanand Das, and this is my first time coming to ILS. And as I was coming here to hear, that was the plan. That is how I booked my tickets. But my Siksha Guru, I don't know how he included my name in the name of presenters. And he said, go and present what you're doing. I'm really humbled actually, sitting in front of all of you who are much senior to me, and I'm sure just by looking at you, oh my God, Parliament Room, from this is really humbling for me, bro, you're here. So, how should I start? I can say that it's a Sunday afternoon, preaching in elite community means just the speaker is sleeping and the audience is also sleeping. That is preaching in elite community. Because in elite community is, what do we say as elite community? Elite community means people who have more than they need. They just have more material wealth and more knowledgeable, more guaranteedly settled in life, right? So I happen to live in Hyderabad in a place where most of the communities are gated communities, right? And we started preaching there. I'll quickly take you through some slides that I had kept. I'll also brief you about.
Where is Gachibowli?
Gachibowli is in Hyderabad. Yeah, Hyderabad is known for its IT companies. So most of the IT companies are there in that area called Gachibowli. Yeah. So brief journey, I'll just tell about myself so you all know. Nothing special about it, but you can relate easily. So by profession, I'm a CA, and my first job was in Kolkata, in a company called ITC. And at that time, I was not Krishna conscious. And the surprising part was I was living just beside Prabhupada's birthplace. I had no clue that was Prabhupada's birthplace. And after coming to Krishna consciousness, when I came here and they took me on a Kolkata tour, they took me to this place, and I was like, I used to live here. And I'm looking at Prabhupada's birthplace right across, like the main road, this side is my house and this side is Prabhupada's house, like that it was. But I was fortunate when I went to US with my family. My wife is sitting behind there, and she's Anuradha Priyadevjasi. And my friend had called me to, when I was traveling to US on work, so my friend had called me to a temple, telling me to wait there. So I went in and waited there, not knowing it was ISKCON temple. They gave me prasadam, I had prasadam, and she came and she picked me up, she took me to her house, we met her husband and we had a good time. And after many years when I told I'm practicing ISKCON, she was like, don't you remember where you were waiting for me? That was ISKCON temple. So there were so many encounters with ISKCON temple that I don't know why Krishna did not allow me to get in at that time. And it also happened that I was working in Chennai, then I was married, I had 2 children, and I was traveling to Delhi, and I was literally living beside Delhi ISKCON temple in a hotel. I was like a project manager at that time, so I had booked the whole half of the hotel for the project staff. We were living for 3 months with the whole staff for American Express, what was our client. And we used to see ISKCON temple every morning, and I didn't know what is ISKCON, ISKCON. And it's also happened that in the evening, when we were going for a walk after the dinner, I even looked at ISKCON and teased, international Krishna? How can Krishna be international? Then Krishna made me, Krishna laughed at me maybe after a few years when I actually met devotees in Boston, and they came right across my house. Grace, in Boston also, my office was right in the downtown, 200 meters away from 32nd Commonwealth Avenue. And again, I never went to the temple until a devotee came in my life, right? So that's Srinivas Acharya Prabhu and Radhika Kripa Mataji. Wonderful couple. They came in front of my house and they told my wife that we are conducting a spiritual program. Would you want to come? That's how the invite comes always. And I was dead against religion. I don't want to hear about religion. I don't like a preacher, nothing. So I said, no, I'm not coming. And my wife told, you have to come. I said, I will not come. And just because I told I will not come, she made sure that I went. So that was my first satsang. And this is the journey we had. It's pretty much it is. And the first satsang when I went, my Siksha Guru, this Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, was sitting down. And his wife was sitting down. He was holding a mridanga, she was holding a kartal. They had a small child, Gauranga, and he was dancing. I was very arrogant. I sat on the couch. I was the only one in satsang sitting on the couch. They were all new families. And he was telling something about anger management. That was a way to pull crowd for the first time in Bhakti Riksha. I know you all know this, we do one-time programs to attract people. Then he was doing that. I was not hearing anything because I did not want to hear anything. My wife had forced me to come there. So I was sitting there. And then after the whole program, he was asking feedback. He was asking, how did you feel? How did you feel? How did you feel? What did you learn out of this? I told him that, I didn't learn anything out of this because I didn't hear anything. It was a very rude reply. But then I told something that touched my heart. What touched my heart was husband is playing Mridanga and wife is playing Kartal and their son is dancing in between. I had never seen this sight anywhere in my life. Not in my family, not in my friend circle. I come from that part of Hyderabad where even in a marriage, when husband and wife go together, husband goes to the right, wife goes to the left, and children go straight somewhere. They don't do any activity together. There's nothing like together activity. For the first time, I was seeing actually a family doing activity together, and that touched me. Then I told that Prabhuji that day that I don't know what you taught Bhagavad Gita. I don't know what anger management is, but whatever you have in your family, I wanted it. Whatever this love, this equation that husband and wife have, I want it. If it means whatever you Krishna consciousness, I'm ready for it. Call me next time, I'll come next to you. So that is how my satsang started, and me and my wife started going to the satsang, one after the other, one after another. It was preaching nicely, and it took a lot of people's effort to bring me to Krishna consciousness. I was a very tough nut to crack. So you can see so many preachers who gave so much time. Srinivas Acharya Prabhu, this was the Siksha Guru. His name is Madhavendra Puri Prabhu. He is a very scholarly person in Boston. He used to live, and Bhagavad Prabhu and Survi Mataji, my Siksha Guru in Hyderabad, and Yugal Kishore Prabhu, the Brahmachari in America. So many people had to work on me, to carve me, to make some sense out of me. And finally I said, okay, Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. It took me so much time, but we went through that process. And then, then we got initiated in 2013 in San Jose. Me and my wife got initiated. And then we returned to India because I'm the only child. I wanted to take care of my parents. And then in 2015, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu came into our life, whereby I was a big fan of Radhesham Prabhu. I was hearing his lectures while I was in US. Never met him, but after coming to Hyderabad, he was traveling to Hyderabad. So I met my superhero. So I went and told him, Prabhu, I'm very attracted to your lectures. Please guide us. What should we do? At that time, we were not connected to a temple. I started preaching because some of us have this that, when you hear a good joke, you want to go and tell 10 people, right? So when you hear something good, you want to go and tell 10 people. That's my nature. So that's what I was doing. I didn't know what it means to be a preacher. So whatever I used to hear, I used to go and tell. So in US, we were preaching for some time. After coming to Hyderabad, we started continuing the same way. Radhesham Prabhu said, okay, continue to do what you're doing. But he started guiding, you have to do some courses, you have to preach in a certain way. This is the right way, this is the wrong way, etc. Yeah. And in 2019, my parents got initiated. They also got the shelter of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, and also my parents' Guru Maharaj. That's my old photo. It's 2016. Satsang has, I don't know how much Satsang has grown, but I have grown, you can see. And these are the deities in our house: Sri Radha Gopi Vallabha, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramai, and Gauritai. These are our deities we worship in our house. And coincidentally, the deities that first we saw in our life was Radha Gopi Vallabh in Boston. And I always had this desire to go back and see the deities in Boston, but we never went because of responsibilities here. And then I felt, maybe I'll never see them. But the deities, when they were sent to my Guru Maharaj, he named them as Radha Gopi Vallabh. I was like, wow, the deities have come to our house. So it's more than a coincidence for us. So opportunity to serve. So when we came to Hyderabad, there's a Google map, as you can see. Is it visible to the back? Is it okay? Yeah. So this is Hyderabad. How many have been to Hyderabad here? Yeah, Hare Krishna. It's a wonderful city. You should come more often. Come to our house. So in Hyderabad, there are ISKCON temples. The Prabhupada that opened. You can see there are 3 temples mainly. One is.
Prabhuji, you can use cordless.
Can you use cordless?
Cordless.
There is one of the wired is better.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Better?
Yeah, much better.
You put up this one. You put up this.
Oh, yeah, sure. So as you can see here, this is the Abbot's ISKCON temple. It's in the central part of the city. And this is the temple. The deities were installed by Prabhupada. One of the three temples when Prabhupada installed in India. So Radha Madan Mohan deities here. And there is Secunderabad, Radha Gopinath deities, small deities in a small temple comparatively. And this is ISKCON Nature. This is outside the city. Even now it's outside the city. At that time, Prabhupada was given 500 acres land. And due to many reasons, we lost a lot of land. Finally, Jayapataka Maharaj went and saved a lot of the land and we got 50 acres back. So we have 50 acres of land there. And Krishna Balaram Mandir. So Prabhupada had big plans to make big temple and big farm community. And Prabhupada himself stayed like 3 times. He gave a lot of time there. And recently, 2 other temples came. ISKCON Attapur here. And this is Rampalli, ISKCON Rampalli. This is a little bit on the outskirts. Yeah. So this circle that you're seeing is the old city of Hyderabad. This is the core city of Hyderabad, the old city, you can say so. And these 2 temples are like the outskirts of the city, you know. On the other side, nothing much is happening there. Not many companies are coming. Now this side is the western side of the city. It also happens to be the western side, but mostly the IT companies have come here, right? More than 1 lakh families from all over India are shifting here and constructing some big gated communities, as you can see here. Right now, this is what I call as elite communities. When I put the topic as elite communities, because the houses are expensive, very highly qualified people, IITs, IIMs, ISB, even ISB, Indian School of Business, is also in this place, right? So you have the top MNC companies, you know, name the brand, you have it all there. And the top international schools, obviously, and the families are there, they have children. And you have the top colleges, right? And universities, ISB, and all the big universities, they've come there. And obviously top hospitals also. Because when you have so many companies, so much work, so much money, there will be anxiety also. So all the hospitals also have come there. So it's like one of the happening places, right? One of the happening places. So when we came there, there was no ISKCON, there was no devotees, right? Maybe there were devotees somewhere inside, but there was no Bhakti Riksha, there was nothing happening. So at that time, Radhesham Prabhu told, why don't you start something in this locality? And we stay somewhere here, right in between. And there are a few families who came with us, you know, Praveen Prabhu, Subbarao Prabhu, Dasraj Prabhu. They are from the same group that we are. So when I started preaching, one by one families started joining us. So a large part of the city. So if you want to go to the old temples, it takes like around 90 minutes, right? 1.5 hours sometimes with traffic. And it's not possible for us to go there and for them to come here, or anyways, it's not going to work. So I said, let us do something different. No preaching center, no temple. So here is what we saw, you know, there is the opportunity to serve. And Prabhuji said, why don't you start something? Now, let's define how these houses have changed. I'm sure most of you already know this, but just to define, so how the living things have changed to the past, you know. When I grew up in my house, how did I grow up? And now these gated communities, how different they are. Obviously, you can see very, very, you know, posh is one of the words they use, you know, posh locality they say, right? Very expensive, very reserved. So by nature, everything money can buy, they get it there, right? High security, all amenities, all comforts. Water doesn't stop, electricity doesn't stop. So why do they need God? You know, something has to stop to shout, right? Oh God, why is it not coming? Nothing stops. So that's the community there. So that's the lifestyle, recreation parks, sports, stadiums, everything is there. You know, like literally people don't go out of their community to get anything. Even the hospital is there inside, clinic is there inside, a lot of things are like that. And who stays in this? Obviously, you know, the top class executives from corporates or business owners, entrepreneurs. Like really the high class society is what stays in these communities. And upper class and upper middle class mostly. And intellectual and influential society. Now Prabhupada wanted us to preach the leaders in the society. And it happens to be that some of these people are leaders in big companies. They are the directors, they are CEOs, you know, vice presidents. Some of them are entrepreneurs owning a company like that. So how do we preach them? So irony of, in spite of having all this, is their goal is to be happy, but they can't be happy. I don't think we have to convince on this philosophy that money doesn't bring happiness alone. This money is not the only way you can get happiness. So obviously these people are not happy because we are also living in one of those communities. I also work in a IT company on the finance side, no more on IT.
Which company?
It's a SAP consulting company.
SAP Global.
No, it's Lorcan is a company, and I had the finance in itself for that. I was in IT for a long time, but I left IT and back to my debits and credits. Yeah.
So
Impatient people, how many of you here are living in a gated community? Yeah, so I'm sure you can relate to this. Very impatient people, right? So if you go to the WhatsApp group of the community or the Telegram group of the community, all you see is fighting for petty things, right? Literally, they don't talk to each other. A little thing, the message will go to the community in chat. That fellow will call me and tell me that your saree is hanging on his balcony. I'm like, oh, you're alone, you can tell me. Then I get a phone from the security office. That's kind of people I'm talking about. Very impatient people, struggling, filled with anxiety. They have lots of money and lots of loans also, right? So obviously, when you take such a big home loan, nobody's going to be peaceful there. Yeah. So lonely living, no real relationships. Surprisingly, when we started satsang in those communities, maybe I can tell this with confidence, I'm the only one who has gone to maybe 20 houses in the community. Nobody else had the privilege to go to any other house except his own. Right? Though they say it as community living, but there's nothing called community living. It's more like, yeah, I'm in a posh big community, but my house is my house. Like one senior devotee once was saying that why does anybody decorate a house? Anybody decorates a house so that people can come inside the house, right? But when you decorate a house and don't allow people to come into the house, that house is like a snake hole. Right? You keep your house in hand inside, choop, you'll get a bite on your hand. So I can say snake hole communities, like almost like that. So they don't meet each other. They're very hesitant to talk to each other. Money has made it like that. But there is a great opportunity to preach. Why? Because there's a lot of anxiety. They don't have relationships, right? So yeah, and a big rule book, obviously, because they want everything to happen in a particular way. There is a huge rule book for the community. And if you park your car at 1 feet this side, they'll get 4 phone calls and security guard, everybody coming. Why did you park it like that? Because the rule book says so, right? So, secular mindset killing all positive initiatives. If you want to do any good satsang in such kind of community, you know what secular word means, right? It means nothing, right? So that nothingness comes and creates more nuisance, saying you can't do satsang here. If Bhagavad Gita satsang happens, then what about Quran? What about Bible? What about this? What about that? Then we have to face those questions. So then we thought that I was speaking to Radheshan, what should I do in such things? Then came up with a plan. Okay, 2 years we'll invest on developing a group, right? Just developing a closed group, so that when we have our group, then we can start bigger initiatives. Then we can do even a Rath Yatra. If I have 10 families who are supporting me and I'm going forward with the idea, then those 10 families will come and support me. And when they support all this mindset, people will automatically go back. So we started on that. Then opulent festivals. They have all opulent festivals in the community, but only for sense gratification. Right? There's nothing to do with God. Even if it is Deepavali or Ugadi or Sankranti or Pongal or you name it, it's only for sense gratification. That's all it is. And people are stressed with large home loans and godless society with all facilities. I don't have to go beyond this. The agenda is not to speak about this, but I just wanted to be in sync. Are you all agreeing with me, or is there any, or you want to add more points? So, yeah, as I said, I was not prepared for today's presentation. I thought, let me put up something. So this is our satsang today. We call it Gachibowli Satsang Group, right? And we started in 2015 with 10 people, 10 members, practically a small satsang. And so we joined as families. Then Radheshan Prabhu, as I said, he came and we got affiliated with the temple. Now we work with the temple, ISKCON Abbott's temple. So we can even recommend people for initiations, etc. And conducting Bhakti Rikshas. Now that one satsang that we used to do in 2015, today is expanded to 16 satsangs in different communities. In summary, we'll go there. We'll tell you what we did. So we're working under HTMC. It's called Hyderabad Temple Management Committee. And Radheshyam Prabhu is one of the committee members. Krishna Prabhu, Sitaram Prabhu, and Vedant Chaitanya Prabhu. All four of them. And we call it ISKCON Gachibowli. We recently got a extension center approval that we are ISKCON Gachibowli. So that's something for us to celebrate there. So we are now around 120, say, core members, core like practicing seriously devotees. And extended group is much more, but this is the core group. Around 16 devotees are initiated already in the group, and around 90 are chanting 16 rounds. Just like a glimpse, 55 was finished during Corona. We finished our Bhakti Shastri, nothing else to do. We finished that online from BBRV Pune. We finished that. So this is where we stand today. So the reason I'm standing here today is, I'm sure you all know better, but just to share with you all what we did and what made it work, right? So you can also add your inputs. There's something to learn also. So what do we do? How do we start a batch? How do we start a program? And how do we expand? What is the methodology we adopted? That's what I want to share, right? Are you all in sync with what we're discussing, or I'm completely out of place? Yeah, very good. Okay, great. So before we start a batch, a new batch, right? There are certain steps we follow so that the batch is successful. And every year we start a new batch. Every year, like I am a preacher in a small way. I start a batch every year, and there is the Sunday morning batch is a new batch, new people batch, right? And Sunday evening is our core batch, where all the preachers we all meet together at one place.
Every week.
Every week. So Sunday morning is for new people preaching. Sunday evening is for our core friends, old buddies in satsang. We all come together. Like there is Subara Prabhu here sitting. He conducts a batch in the morning for new people. And in the evening he comes to the satsang, and we all meet like the old times. That is how we function. No satsang on Saturdays, only on Sunday. Sunday morning new people, Sunday evening old people. So when we initially did, it was 10 people, 15 people. And then when this 10, 15 people became very strong, in their sadhana and commitment towards Prabhupada, then we came up with a concept called DCS, Devotee Care Servant. What does it mean? So when we start a next batch, like a next big batch, and we get applications, I'll tell you how we get that. So if you're getting like 200 applications, I can't deal with 200 people, right? I can't deal with 200 people. So what we do, we divide the group, the whole 200 into like 10 pieces, based on gender, based on location, based on age group, and then we assign a DCS to that particular batch. So what the DCS does is he gets into personal contact with those people, right? So that when they come to satsang, they are very much taken care. They feel very attended to, right? So the first part is the publicity. The second part is the data capture. It almost looks like a IT document, but it's not. Third is DCS allocation. Fourth is sessions. And fifth is work week engagement. I'll tell you what this whole thing is, the next steps. So this is the methodology we follow. I'll explain each one of those, what it means. So starting with publicity, we create promo videos. See, we are dealing with this kind of community who watches good movies, who goes to multiplexes. So our competition really is Avatar movie. Right? So my satsang has to be better than Avatar. Right? So the ad has to be better than that. Something has to attract them. So I'll just show you as a sample.
What is the meaning of Gachibowli?
Gachibowli is a place name. It's a place name. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah. If you can see this, like just a small promo when we send out for. Just play for 2 minutes. Everything your culture, it has a great meaning.
It really lifted my spirits and I feel amazing. I think think everyone should get a chance to listen to what he has to say.
It's a very enriching and a very eye-opening session. My name is Pratika Agarwal. It is a wonderful, enriching experience, and we were actually thirsty for more. And I'm really looking forward.
Hare Krishna.
So it is a promo which shows the people's experience, what they felt. When we did one-time programs, and then we engaged a professional photographer who also happens to be a devotee in our satsang. So he made these videos, and we use it for publicity. Here in family speaking.
We had an opportunity to get SSR class from some other devotees in this Kansamamish. And that was an enlightening moment for me especially. And there are so many questions in my mind that really got answered in the session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The biggest learning that I had after SSR really see through this whole misconception, so to say. We believe that God exists. But how many hours, for example, in a 24-hour day, how many times do we even remember Him?
What this is what?
Hare Krishna.
Science of self-realization.
So these are the kids. Okay, so this boy and this boy, can you please get up? They're so grown up now, it's a 5-year-old video, 6-year-old video. So what we did is basically we understood that now there has to be some difference in our teaching style. We can't go to the old way of saying, please come, here is a Bhagavad Gita. It has to sell. And I take a lot of inspiration from Vaisheshika Prabhu, because I used to go to San Jose, I saw him the way they preach, and use the technology, use the latest ways of attracting people, showing that it's worthy course to go through, right? So we create a lot of this kind of ad. Now this is one of the videos, I have like 20 videos like this, right? Where we take the feedback from devotees who have attended the satsangs, and also some fresh feedbacks of people who just attended one-time programs, right? And then create a nice video out of it, and then send in the community. Just send in the community, create a WhatsApp group. I'm sure all of us know what is WhatsApp. So create a WhatsApp group. There is a link to join that WhatsApp group. If you click on that link, you join the WhatsApp group. So write your message, put that link in that, and also the link of this video, and push in the community. And push in all the communities wherever you want to, in the locality. And then what will happen is people will join the WhatsApp group because they'll see this video. Oh, something nice, They're all looking happy. They're all looking happy. So why don't I try something, right? So this is join. So
Tubiji,
yeah.
there is a question. What is SSR?
Oh, sorry.
Here.
Oh, Science of Self-Realization. Actually, the same course. It's also called as Discover Yourself. And I take inspiration from Radha Gopinath Prabhu in Chopati, who did the Science of Self-Realization. So he did it in 6 parts. I kind of broke it apart and made it 12 parts. So because there was so much content in it. So we do this 12 sessions before we start the Bhagavad Gita. So we do this 12 sessions. These promos are for them to come and join the Bhagavad Gita session. The SSR session.
Yeah.
So once they finish the SSR, then automatically they finish almost 40% of Bhagavad Gita. They almost understand 40% of Bhagavad Gita. Then they can join the core batch of Bhagavad Gita, shloka by shloka, chapter by chapter. That's SSR group. So we make these promo videos, and then we make nice banners, professional banners on Photoshop, right? And then we send it through smartphones by printing, we put them in the houses, right? And then WhatsApp group links are sent out viral across all platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, name it. We just publish the links everywhere. We don't know who is going to join. Because people will just click. Somebody from New Zealand can join, somebody from Hyderabad can join, somebody from Delhi can join, because it's just a link, right? Wherever he goes, he'll click it, he'll join. Okay, so then now comes the tough part. So this we do at least 3 weeks ahead of time. At least 3 weeks ahead. So for example, if I'm planning to start a batch in March, right? March first week. So I would rather put the WhatsApp group today, which is February 12th. So at least 3 weeks ahead, we keep sending this virally and people click and join. Now, we really don't want devotees who are outside the city because we want people who are in the city, right? So now comes the next part of calling everybody. Why we do this viral is because initially we want as many people to click and join. At least sometimes we get like 250 people who have clicked it. So the group has like 250 members, right? We don't know who they are. So then we take the task of calling them personally. So that's like you have to apply leave to your office, maybe 2 or 3 days, and start calling people. And there is a template we keep when we call people what we need to know, right? We ask them, why, so you joined this group, so you're interested in Bhagavad Gita. 10% chances they don't know why they joined. So like, why are you calling me? Madam, you joined the group. I didn't know, I didn't join any group. Okay, then you can exit. So that's one thing. And sometimes there is already existing devotees. They're already devotees in some temple, some congregation. So we tell them you can leave because this is only for new people. We don't want to, include you. This is a fresh teaching, so you don't have to join. And if they are not from this city, we guide them saying that why don't you go to the temple? So for example, one devotee from Bhubaneswar joined. One person from Bhubaneswar, I told, why don't you go to Bhubaneswar ISKCON temple? Because that is nearby. This is only for Hyderabad. So there is a lot of filtering process we go through. And finally, we capture all the data. And data when we capture, we ask them, what is your expectation from coming to the session? If you're married, what is your wife's name? We have to speak in a nice, sweet way and ask, what is your children's name? And everything they are saying, we write it down. We just write it down, everything. And where do you stay in the city? I stay in this part of the city. Okay, that part of the city. Because we also ask the place from where they come, because tomorrow I can help them pull up. If there are 2-3 more coming from same place, we can tell, okay, you 3 can join and come, right? And when we save the contact in the phone, we also save the husband's name, niche bacche ka naam, uske niche patni ka naam. Everything captured, the whole family details. Why? Because next time when I call or he calls me, I can see Suresh and niche Radhika and Suman. So Suresh is a person, Radhika is his wife's name, Suman is daughter's name. So when I talk itself, I can't remember. I can remember. I'll say, Sureshji, how are you? Is Radhika madam okay? How is Suman? She's playing nicely. Will she come to the satsang? They'll feel personal. They'll feel really nice, right? If you see my mobile right now, it has whole family details of most of the people. That is how these are materialistic techniques. I'm not saying this devotion, but something that helps us connect, right? So we capture the data thoroughly. And once we have this whole data in the Excel sheet, so location, family, vocation details, even the company where they work, I ask. So if somebody is working for TCS, I find 4 people from TCS. I'll tell, okay, why don't you 4 come together? Or we can discuss together in the office, expectations. And we remove some devotees also. If they are not right fitment to the group, we tell them that this is not the place for you. And then we do this. This is the most critical step, DCS allocation. Where now the thing starts is, like, for example, they all were DCS like at one point. So we tell them that, okay, here are your 20 people you have to take care of, right? So 1 week before, they give a call saying, we are your DCS, we are the people to take care of you. They will send the location to the place. When they come, they'll receive them. They'll bring them into the hall. They'll make them seated nicely, give them water. While the program is going on, they'll just see if they're comfortable. After the program, did they have proper dinner prasadam, right? And if they're going back, do they need any commute? Just discuss it out. Discussing it out. And if they didn't like what I spoke, they'll ask, did you like what I spoke, or do you have any arguments to make, or if there's anything you want to say? So whatever they want to speak, they feel very comfortable to speak to the DCS. Right? So this DCS is in fact, DCS are the real preachers, because they really connect with people. And I personally become, like, in this session, for example, if I am the one conducting it, there are many DCS, so they connect with the people, and I also connect with few people, right? But calling is very important. So each person is personally taken care, transportation, coordination, everything. And prasadam needs also. Sometimes we ask, if you're diabetic, you're bringing your parents, will they eat rice? Will they eat chapati? So we make sure that something else is made for diabetic people, or some fruits are kept for them so that they're nicely taken care of. Ultimately, the point is, they are from big societies and they need to be taken care, and they should feel special when they come to us. It should be the best meal of their week, not only by taste, but even by care. So that's the goal. And our sessions are all 3-hour sessions, because that much time it takes to explain. So 3 hours peacefully they sit down and we go through the whole, from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock is the session. And 8 o'clock, if you go to YouTube, even now you can see SSR 2019 batch, SSR 2018 batch, SSR 2017 batch. So you'll see all those videos. You'll not see my face, nothing special about it, but you'll just see the presentation and the voice, right? So it's a recording for them. So if they want to recap and hear what they have not heard properly, they can go back and hear. So this is the 3 hour sessions we maintain, and there is a separate session for small children. When Mataji takes really small children, they take children below 5 are given some color papers and pencils, and they have the separate time there. But children up to 7 also have heard all the SSR sessions because it's all PowerPoint presentations, so they don't mind sitting and hearing. Actually, after the whole SSR session, the children who heard that whole thing, they made a skit mimicking me the way I talk. So it was really fun mimic. They did it actually. Some of them, yeah. So they mimic, the way I speak, whatever. So they like, Prabhuji will come like this, no will speak like that. Session number 1, session number 2. So, yeah. And so DCS allocated, we'll discuss all the concerns. Lot of times, sometimes ISKCON philosophy is so strong and straight. Some cases we can't compromise. We stick to the principles. That time, some people, they need a little more time. So the DCS, what they do is they speak to them. They speak to them and ask, are you comfortable with what you heard today? Is it okay? No, I think that was too much, I don't think I agree. Okay, no problem. You can talk to me. Because everything one speaker can't address, so the DCS will take care of the second level nourishing part. So then, of course, prasadam, packing, wrapping up, everything. And now this is another very important thing. So we have some devotees who are allocated for question answers. So whatever session I have given, so there is one Mataji who makes questions for the whole week. So every day in the WhatsApp group, 5 questions go and they have to answer the 5 questions with answers. Right? So any examples that are quoted, not shlokas but examples and philosophy, they have to multiple choice questions, fill in the blanks. Actually, we had some teachers in our satsang, so they're very good at making question paper also. Kind of worked out. So it used to have good fun, yeah.
How many fail?
Nobody fails. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, nobody fails. So, yes, brother. Yeah, that's a good question. I forgot to tell. So when we start with 250 to 20 registrations, by the time we filter it and come, it's around 140. And 140 after thorough follow, 110, 120 show up. And after that 110, looking at the first impression, another 10% leave. So we land around 80 or 90. That's where we land. And then that goes on. This is one of the best batches we had before COVID. But we landed at around 80 or 90. We finished with almost 100 at one point. Yeah. And out of that, because they came from far off places, some of them who were nearby, they continued the satsang. Some others got connected to some other temples near their houses, wherever they are. And some of them are sitting here who came out of that batch. So, like that.
One more question was
Yeah.
the prashadam and everything, the funding of that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So, first 2 satsangs we fund. And we fund in a very opulent way. It's not like a 4 course, 3 course. It will be like a 7, 8 course meal. The best meal of the week, right? And first 2 times we fund. And we really have experienced that we have one fund collector, Prabhuji, his name is Sri Gopal Prabhu. He's an Agarwal, so perfect person to handle the funds. So we landed up with collection. People will come, they'll celebrate their child's birthday, they'll celebrate their anniversary. We announced that, this week's Prashadam is sponsored by Gopal Prabhu and Poonam Mataji, and, they are celebrating their son's birthday, Hari Bol, and we have a very nice way of celebrating their birthday also. We have the cake cutting and all that. So they like it, so they want to sponsor. We always landed with 25-30,000 excess after 12 sessions. And the 25-30,000 we use for the final finale. The final satsang after that, we conduct when we have a Maha Feast, and we call a special speaker like Radhesham Prabhu, and he comes and he addresses all of them. And we also do one satsang, this is something. So we do one satsang at the end called Srimad Bhagavatam Satsang. Right? So because they have attended 12 weeks, and so much devotee care has happened, they are really, they feel nice about the whole group. And then when we do the Srimad Bhagavatam Satsang and we tell them, now here is Bhagavatam, do you want to take? So you won't believe, like minimum 80 to 100 Bhagavatams we sell at one shot. All of them are gone. Now because later on, I don't know where they will go. They take the Bhagavatam and they go home. And then some of them continue with the batch later on. But that's one book selling that happens at the last session. Selling of Bhagavatams, yeah. And Bhagavad Gita, small books and all, we keep a counter, they take it. Yes.
We take them like a actors, like known places like falls or something like that.
Oh yeah, we do that also. I'll show you that. I'll show you. Yeah. As we go forward, I'll show you some other things. I'll show you a glimpse of gated. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, bro.
So when people register for the SSR,
Uh-huh.
is it paid or is it free?
Good question.
It's free. But no, it's not free. It's 250 rupees. So for the 250 rupees, we give a chanting bag, and we also give a Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So they buy the chanting bag, full-fledged, and every satsang we make them chant one round, right from the first. Right from the first satsang. As soon as they enter, there is a tilak that is kept, chanting bag is given. Before they revolt, what already converted. So someone said, I'll show you one glimpse of, yeah.
So you start
So
with
this is
the
Madan Satsang, small video. This is a community called Mayapur Avatar. So this is one of the gated communities called Mayapur Avatar. There are 3,000 flats in this, very high class flats. And this is an amphitheater there. So I had conducted SSR before this. So this is not SSR. SSR happened in my house, and I'll just answer this for you. So around 10 families we got really fixed up. They started chanting. And then we went and spoke to the community people, saying that we'll use the amphitheater. And two secular people came and said, how come Quran and Bible? And 10 people came and said, what is your problem? So they said, okay, you can go ahead. Right? So that's how we got the amphitheater. And when we opened the amphitheater, we got 150 people registration, as you can see. Right? And right after that, this COVID came and we had a lot of them going away. But then they're still there. Some of them are still there. And they're very favorable. If not anything, once in a year, they donate one Bhagavatam Seva. When I call them and say, can you donate one Bhagavatam? They donate one Bhagavatam. So we maintain that relationship. It's not like we lose them. So this is one of them. Now recently I'll show you another one. These are like these promo videos again, as I said, is very important because when I go to another community, when for example say Praveen Prabhu here wants to start in another community, there again that you know what I'm saying, 2-3 families will come, oh this secular and all. They'll show, they are doing in such a big community, what is your problem? Right? So here is a video. Right? So we have to equip ourselves with kind of tools and people who can support us to make these big events happen. Right? So I'll show you one more quick glimpse of yeah, I know that I lost it. Wait a second. This is yeah, this one. And took this video. So this is another batch. We started in 2022 November, where I stood. All the banners. So I know we are losing time here, so yeah.
You can tell about the families must come.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what's the time again?
4:28.
Huh?
4:28.
4:28. So how much time I have?
2 minutes actually.
15 minutes? Is that okay? Can you go 15 minutes? We never finish on time. That's a record. So please bear with us. Yeah. No, I think it's Super, okay. So I'll go a little quick here. So we have the steps one on one, and then next steps is sell them Bhagavatams. We connect them to the local Bhakti rickshaws wherever they are, and the serious participants continue, and the other people they move on. So DCS, devotee care, devotee care, devotee care. This is how we preach, right? So we have people to take care of people, and they stay on and move on. And some strict rules we keep in the beginning itself. Yeah. Okay. So some strict rules we keep in the beginning. Some of you might not like it also, but I tell them, if you're not bringing your husband, don't come. If you're not bringing your wife, don't come. Being itself, I tell them, you have to bring your spouse, right? At least for 2 sessions, you have to bring them. That's compulsory, and that really pays us in the long run. That we have stable couples and stable families, with no big problems. Otherwise, one person comes, other person starts having some fight in the house. They keep calling in a lot of maintenance. Not that I want to avoid them, but I tell them for 2 weeks at least you should bring your spouse. And the reactions have not been nice when I put such kind of conditions. I tell them come 5 minutes in advance. If you don't come regularly, I remove you from the group. Sometimes the Indians like to be strict, so you have to put that strict hat sometimes. Like this person complained saying, I'd rather not come. You're asking me to bring my wife, and I have to come on time and all that stuff. But immediately after that, in the same group, a lot of people replied saying, we like that strictness. It's good that you're making us strict. Right? So there are also people, actually, Radhesham Prabhu told one beautiful thing. He said that if you maintain high standards, you get people with high standards. Right? So ultimately, we don't suffer too much. I mean, there are still some people who come not as a couple, but we have given them time to come as a couple. And so 16 Sunday morning programs, as I was saying, these are different communities, and where, like, for example, this Mahesh Prabhu, he is serving in an aliens group. 40 people attend. There are 1,000 flats there. Like different names and groups. What was one satsang has today come to 16 satsangs, right? In different communities. So together we might be preaching more than 300 people. But the core group is our core group in the Sunday evening. And we have one centralized kitchen for prasadam. There is a voice center near our place. They cook the prasadam and they bring it. And all of them are used to giving 2 to 3 hour classes now because they attended 2 to 3 hour classes. Satsangs are like that. And oh yeah. You can message me. I can send this PowerPoint. This okay.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You can take my number at the end. Actually, there's nothing to hide here. Yeah. So how we increase that footprint? Here was the footprint that I was talking about. The same area, when I blow it up, this is the area that we're talking about. There was no ISKCON center. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 places where we are preaching. And these are the families correlating where we are. And those wonderful families are also sitting here. Probably is Asraj Prabhu. He is HR manager in Virtusa. And there is Praveen Prabhu. He is a senior manager in Microsoft. And here is Subbarao Prabhu. He heads the IT company in India head of Aztec Technology. So high profile people. And they're also preaching. See, one thing I say is, you can't coach Arjuna and ask him to be on bench. Right? That's the problem and a good thing with elite communities. If you preach them, they are ready to attack, and you have to give them service. So most of them land up becoming preachers, and we encourage them to be there. After some time, at least 2 years of 16 round chanting, and they have attended core philosophy nicely, then they can start preaching. At least SSR they can start preaching, and then they can go forward.
What is the attrition? Attrition.
Not much. I'd say the core families remain. Okay, if you say by overall laws of averages, maybe 70% we lose because of location, mainly location, because initial transactions they come, after that it's difficult for them to travel every week. So they get connected to the local places there. 30% who are close by, most of them remain. And I'll go a little fast here. So there is Sunday morning sessions happen and the Sunday evenings. Evenings is what I take class for everyone. We all come, our regular old style. We all meet and we have fun. We discuss about experience of what they're preaching, what they're going through. And even on weekdays, There are some very good Matajis have their Sakhi Sangha classes every day, 1 hour. My wife conducts it, she is sitting behind. And there is Srimad Bhagavatam classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Subbarao Prabhu conducts in Telugu. They already came to 10th canto. For the last 2.5 years, they're doing Bhagavatam reading. 30 years. So, and Srila Prabhupada book reading, one other devotee conducts every morning, 7:30 to 8:30. Small books he makes them read. So it's a joint effort. Bhakti Shastri, 50 of us finished last year. 50 people cleared the Bhakti Shastri during the COVID time. We did 4 Rath Yatras last year. So, again, this big communities, we just pulled it off. We made our own Rath. One Rath we brought, it broke halfway through. And then next time we made a better Rath. And I'll show a quick glimpse of, yeah, so this is one of the Rath Yatras. That community, lack of time, just going fast. Jai Jagannath. You can see the whole community.
Small Rath.
The devotees with Prashadam right inside.
Small Rath.
Small previous year, earlier, more than 21.
So this is Rath Yatras. So we did in 4 communities. In each community, like Mayapur, 1,500 people attended inside the community. And 2,200 members we distributed Prashadam. Not a morsel was left. Right? Now here, Aparna community, Dasraj Prabhu, he conducted, 3,000 people attended and not a morsel Prashadam was left. Like we also made khajas and all that, and all of them are sponsored. People just come forward and they give and they seem sincere, taking care of funds and the festivals, and of course we create that core group, right? So that helps. So one in My Home Jewel, one in Grace. So Radhesham Prabhu told that, I keep telling Radhesham Prabhu because he's my Siksha Guru. So he tells that when you conduct Rath Yatras on main roads, rarely you see people coming. People sit in their shops. But when you conduct them in communities, it's literally inside their house. So many more people come, and the offerings are very personal. So that's one good thing. And if you all bless us, we want to conduct 9 Rath Yatras this year. So we are already identified because we have a constraint of only one weekend in which we have to conduct all the 9. So we're distributing ourselves into multiple groups because only the 9 days we can do Rath Yatra, right? After that we can't. So we are getting only one weekend there. We do Bhagavad Gita circles, Bhagavad Gita reading, children circle, Mataji circle, Prabhuji circle, all that. I have a video for that also, but I can share sometime later. So Gita Jayanti, all of them sit together and finish the entire Bhagavad Gita in 3 hours. They read all the translations so people know what is inside it. A lot of people get attracted with this also. And then we have Sunday, Saturday, and Ekadashi mornings, we have Bhagavatam class online. We have Mangalarti also online. So people join from different houses. Praveen Prabhu manages the coordination of who is going to do which class. So we do 1 chapter a week. The devotee has to prepare for the whole chapter. He gives it and everybody joins online. So these are online. And so we go on yatras. So many yatras we went so far. And we do Festival of Inspiration where we call devotees from outside. We always call devotees from other temples, senior devotees, so that they can get good experience of seeing many Maharajas, many disciples. So they get a mixed ISKCON feeling. So we have, like this festival, we had 9 lectures in a single day. All the congregation came together and we call it Festival of Inspiration. We do Jagannath Rath Yatra, Prashadam distribution in Hyderabad. Behind the Rath, we all go, there's a full gang. We do that, we love it. And we do media services because most of us are IT guys. We know how to code. So we take care of the website, Facebook, social media of the temple, Hyderabad Abbots temple. And we do sponsor other projects also. And here is our youth preaching team. So most of the devotees have become youth preachers. And all of them go and give sessions in colleges. The temple, they arrange for the sessions in colleges. They want one-time speakers to go. So all of them go. Even yesterday, go to BITS Pilani, CBIT, name it, all these colleges, and each one of them so there's some PhDs, these Matajis, they are very highly qualified, right? So when they go with these kind of profiles, So they really attracted the office people. And we also maintain 59 cows. I have a Goshala and all the families own one cow. So they keep the maintenance of the cows. So we have all the cows together. So we celebrate our festivals with the cows. And those cows also give some milk to us. So we kind of manage it in between. This is our farm. Somebody was asking what we do outside. So we go and stay in a place. This is my private farmhouse actually. It's 30 minutes from the city. I had created it just for the satsangs. So we all go stay. 80 people sleeping in this room. You can imagine the sounds. But that kind of creates a bonding between the families. We feel as one family, and that helps us take it forward. And we also support the youth camps. The place is used to many youth camps. IIT Bombay, and IIT Hyderabad, and many colleges. They bring the youth and they use the facility for youth camps. We support, and there is one full preaching center, one voice center. We completely fund. Our satsang people completely fund that voice center in its preaching. And Bhagavad Gita distribution, every year we distribute around 6,000 to 7,000 Bhagavad Gitas to villages. Like we sponsor it and we distribute them. You can see there are different sarpanchas of different villages. And Radhesham Prabhu had handed over last week. And this is one amazing thing. Subbarao Prabhu here, can you please stand up? So every year he goes to the tribal villages in Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. Literally tribal villages, you can see him walking to the tribal villages. And he distributes Bhagavad Gita there in Orissa and Telugu, right? And the best part is, he was telling me that people fast for the whole day until they see the Bhagavad Gita. In those places, how much reverence they have. And they walk 12 hours in mountains to come and take the Bhagavad Gita. So much reverence they have. And that every village has a temple in those mountains, and their only deity is Tulsi plant. That's what they worship there. And they chanted Hare Krishna mantra to our surprise. We didn't know that they already knew Hare Krishna mantra. And Gaur Nita is there in many houses, in the tribal villages. And kind of we don't know whether Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has actually walked through those mountains. Maybe he did during the South India tour. But we were surprised. Every year we go. Prabhuji actually goes and distributes Bhagavad Gitas in those tribal villages where the rampant conversion happens. And Bhagavatams, this is the last slide, sorry for the delay. So Bhagavatam distribution, in 2016, we distributed the first Bhagavatams, in our, as I said, 17 Bhagavatams, 2017, 32, 2018, 57, 2019, 130, 2020, 198 Bhagavatam sets, 227 in 2021, and 309 just last year. But we never achieved our target always. And Radhesham Prabhu comes and signs and he gives those Bhagavatam sets. 990 Bhagavatam so far. And our next year target is 500. And what we do with some of the Bhagavatams, new people take it and many people sponsor it. So far, 247 Sri Vaishnava temples, we place the Bhagavatam sets. So all these temples have our Bhagavatam sets, and the pujaris, they told they want to read it. We are hoping that we will keep spreading the Bhagavatams to all the temples, and one day will come when everybody will start reading Bhagavatam. And so Nagaradigram might happen that way. So please pray for us that we will achieve our 500 target this year. So we're really indebted to all devotees who have supported us in this endeavor and helped us continue this kind of preaching. The next 20 slides are all our mistakes. We don't have time, so any questions, corrections, reflections? Thank you very much.
How much time you took for the How much time you got for the presentation? What short time?
They actually took 90 minutes. Yeah, so
No, how much time did it take for you? Prepare.
3-4 hours.
Prabhuji is very good at preparing presentation. He is super.
We're all IT marketing guys, bro. We know how to make presentations. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, you want to take my number, you can write it down. 96186 96186 444443.
You have the same.
My name is Leela Nanda. You can message me, you can send you the PPT. Hare Krishna. Leelananda Das. LILANANDA. 186 4444. Very well. Enjoy the rest of ILS festival. I hope you had a worthy thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jana.